You know what you should do? Play more bullet chess. Seriously, guys. You know all that content you consume about how to get to 2000 elo, how to get better at chess? Well, it's just killing your mood. It's making you feel like crap. My favorite book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... I won't repeat the word. It's by Mark Manson. It is a New York Times bestseller. It's not a chess book. Those things will never be. And in this book, the author gives a counterintuitive guide to living a good life. Basically pushes back against a lot of the mainstream narrative about how to optimize your life. You know all that stuff? Getting richer, healthier, happier. Doesn't really work. It just makes you feel like rubbish. And instead, he advocates caring about less in this world, but of what you care about it deeply. And I was thinking about all this chess improvement advice that circulates all around the internet. You know, do tactics the whole time, master endgames, play slow chess. Yeah, technically that works, but if you apply that stuff religiously, in about a year's time, you're going to be burnt out. You're going to give up the game. You're just going to hate it. And the only way to get good at something is to be at your craft year after year. In 10 years, we still want to be playing chess. And so instead of telling you to play more slow chess, let's just play more bullet, guys. So in this video, I'm going to give you 9 bullet tricks to try before you die, guys. And these are amazing. When I saw these in the Lead Chess database, I was like, wow, there are loads of chess players out there with a sense of humor. And moreover, when I looked at the stats behind this stuff actually works to an extent. And so let's get right to it. After E4 B6, the first one on my list, there's an amazing number of people out there in bullet games who are just playing this move Bishop A6. And what the reason they're doing this for is that many players with the black pieces are pre-moving Bishop B7, and now the situation is terrible because after Bishop takes B7, not only has black chucked the piece, but they're going to lose their rook as well. And you're like, whoa, 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 light squares? Who falls for this? This is nonsense. However, if you put my favorite thing in the whole wide world on the screen, you know what that is, the Lead Chess database, you can see that what I've done is I've filtered out everything that isn't a bullet game. So blitz, rapid, classical, correspondence is out. And I've left ultra bullet and bullet on here. And you can see that this position has been reached 101,000 times in the Lead Chess database. And amazingly, guys, 70,000 people play Bishop B7. These are just people pre-moving it. 70% of people lost their bishop and their rook. And this stuff works on the other side as well. So the second thing on my list is that after, say, D4, G6, you know what to do, guys? Just go ahead and play this move Bishop H6. And we go into the Lead Chess database. You know what's going to happen here? There are 212,000 bullet games here. And lo and behold, 141,000 people played the move Bishop G7, losing their bishop and rook. You're in a completely winning position. Thank light squares later. And this stuff with the fianchetto can work with the colors reversed. Let me show you. So let's say your opponent plays this move C4, the English opening. The key thing here is to open up your light square bishop. Here it is. And many players who play the English will follow up with a G3 like system. So they could play G3 now or maybe later. If they play it now, you know what to do. Go ahead and play this move Bishop H3. And amazingly, if you go into the Lead Chess database, you can see that this position has been reached 2,000 times across all bullet games. And 1,000 people pre-moved Bishop G2. 50% lost their bishop and their rook in the process. Okay, and so the fourth one on my list is from Caro-Kann Games. And who says Caro-Kann games are boring? There are Caro-Kann players out there with an amazing sense of humor. After E4, C6, the Caro-Kann defense, we have D4, D5. We have Knight C3, okay, the main line. We have D takes E4, Knight takes E4. And instead of playing this move, Knight F6, you can go ahead and play this other main line, Bishop F5. And here, White is going to play Knight G3. And the bishop is hanging. The bishop normally retreats to G6. And here, White is going to follow up with a move like H4, and now you have to play H6, and that gives the bishop an escape square, otherwise it's going to get trapped. And so, instead, in this position, what I found amazing is if we switch in on the Lead Chess database, is the number of people that just played this move, Bishop takes C2. And you can see here that this position has been reached 3,000 times, and you're like, whoa, that doesn't work. The most popular move here is Queen takes C2, light squares, selling snake hole again. Yeah, but look at it carefully. 1,400 people play Queen takes C2, which means less than 50%, almost 50%. But that just means that the other moves, the other 50%, are people just hanging their queen. So they play some move like Knight F3 and they just hung their queen. And so you have a great chance here of just picking up the white queen. And this works in many different ways in the Caro-Kann. So if I switch off the Lead Chess database and go back to this position after E4, C6, D4, D5. Let's say they played exchange variation, okay? So E takes D5, and now how this normally works is that you have C takes D5, and then maybe there's a pan-off attack with C4, or maybe they play Bishop D3, that's the other main line. And so in this position, many players with the white pieces are just anticipating c takes d5 and they just pre-move their next move lazily. And so what many clever players with the black pieces are doing, they're just playing bishop g4 in this position. And if you go into the Lee chess database, you can see that this position has been reached 10,000 times across all bullet games, and queen takes g4, which is the right move, was only played 2,000 times. So the sixth one on my list is from the Scotch game. It goes like this: e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. This is the Scotch game, and this doesn't require any pre-move stuff. And we have e takes d4. And now instead of taking back, just go ahead and play this move knight g5. This might actually work in a blitz game. And here the most popular move in the Lee chess database is h6, and we just take here on f7. Gangster move. King takes f7. I just want to warn you here that black is completely winning. Obviously, it must be like minus 4-5 on the engine. You follow up with bishop c4 check. But what's interesting about this position is that there are only two moves that black can come up with to stay in a winning position. One is d5, but that blunders a pawn, and the other one is king g6, which is not very appealing. That king looks very misplaced and very exposed, and the whole point of king g6 is to prevent queen h5. But you guessed it, guys. You know what the most popular move in the Lee chess database here is? This has been tried. Look at this, guys. 38,000 times almost, and the most popular move here is king e8. 24,000 people did this, and now not only is black losing, but black has hung mate, guys, because after queen h5 check, you get the mother of all king walks. Watch this: g6 takes, check, king e7, queen e7, sorry, queen f7 check, king d6, bishop f4, king c5, queen d5, and now it doesn't matter whether you go b6 or b4. Let's say here, queen b5 is checkmate. Look at that, guys. Okay, and so the seventh one on my list is an all-time classic, tried almost 1 million times in the Lee chess database. I'm not sure this stuff still works, but people continue to do it. It's absolutely amazing. After e4, d5, you have e takes d5, and now how Scandinavian normally goes is we have queen takes d5, and then people play knight c3 to bat the queen away. And so many players with the black pieces, anticipating that their opponent has pre-moved knight c3, just go ahead and play this move bishop g4. I love this one. And now if you go into the Lee chess database, you can see 875,000 bullet games like this, and the most popular move is knight c3. 1 in 3 people do this, and of course they have hung their queen in the process. And what's amusing about this is that although queen takes g4 is the right move, many of the other moves also hang the queen or just result in a completely equal game. For example, knight f3 is just an equal game. And so really there's only a 1 in 3 chance here that they're going to go and take your bishop. Obviously that's dependent on the level at which you play. Okay, so the eighth one on my list is from England Gambit games. I believe international master Eric Rosen immortalized this one. This is something I fell for. After d4, e5, the England Gambit, we have takes. And instead of playing the main line stuff, you go ahead and play this move bishop c5. White protects his pawn with knight f3, reasonable. We go with d6, they take. And now we play this sneaky move, knight e7. And of course, if they take here on e7, that's not a free knight, because after bishop takes f2, time to hit that resign button, because we have king takes f2, queen takes queen, and you've won a queen for 2 minor pieces. And if you go into the Lee chess database again, you can see, let's put up on the screen, you can see that this position has been reached almost 400,000 times. And lo and behold, d takes e7, taking that knight, which then results in the loss of the queen, happen almost 1 in 4 times. So truly remarkable stat there. Okay, and the last one on my list is for all you London system players out there. After d4, let's say knight f6, we have bishop f4. Okay, many players are going to play this move g6, so some kind of kid system against the London. And now, amazingly, again, what players with the white pieces are doing here is they're anticipating that their opponent has pre-moved bishop g7, and so they just take here on c7. And if you go into the Lee chess database, this is actually funny that this actually works. There is 12,000 bullet games here where this has been tried, and bishop g7 is the most popular response. It's obviously pre-moved. It's 6,000 games, so 50% of people do this, and in the process lose their queen. So there you go, guys, some bullet tricks to try to keep life fun. And so what I found amazing about those was how many people are actually lazily pre-moving and falling for this stuff. And even if, say, they don't fall for it, well, you're a minor piece down. It's not the end of the world. It's a 1-minute bullet game. You can flag, defend for life, and still try and win the game. Thank you very much for your time. Don't take yourself too seriously.